so many new pieces to this IU football team.
To me, that's going to set the tone on how you get ready for games on Saturday in the fall.
I would put that Indiana room up against anybody else in the conference, and that's something that we typically don't even come close to saying.
If you want to get total sickos committee about it, there's a position battle at long snapper too.
This is the Hoosier Huddle Podcast, part of the College Huddle Podcast Network. How's it going, Hoosier Huddle fans? My name is Ben Gillard. I'm alongside Nick Gonzales.
You haven't seen much of me, but I bet you've read my articles. I've written quite a lot since 2024. So yeah.
Yeah, and welcome to episode 1 of Hoosier Headlines, this new podcast we're doing, which really is going to recap the weekend in IU sports, all IU sports, including the Olympic sports, and preview what's to come ahead next weekend. So
yeah. I mean, let's start off with the football game.
Yeah, you have to, right?
They did so well, 63-10. It's just, it was beautiful. I mean, still, people are going to say, yeah, we haven't beaten anyone. We put too many points up, but
it's only when it's IU is it that you have the largest margin of victory against a top 10 team, and they're saying, oh, you haven't beat anyone. We've already beaten a top 10 team, but you know what? We'll save that for later because IU football got another big win on Wednesday. As a fellow law student, it's sort of my job at Hoosier Huddle to be the legal analysis. And so when the Lewis Moore stuff started to happen, it was really fell to me. And we got a huge win in court on Wednesday. If you haven't heard already, Lewis Moore is going to be eligible for the rest of the season. Judge Dale Tillery granted an injunction against the NCAA until a trial. Now that trial is going to be January 26th. So that's 10 days after the end of the college football season. So basically the trial will probably never happen. There will be likely it will get revoked once the season's over. But bottom line, Lou Moore is going to play this season, which is a huge win for this IU team. We talked about the lack of depth in the secondary. That gets a huge boost here.
Yeah, I mean, Lou Moore, he has like 23 total tackles, 15 solo, 2 interceptions. I mean, he dropped that interception against Illinois, but
almost 3. Yeah,
that would have been a pick 6. But he's been great. I mean, the secondary is filled with experience. You have Amari Farrell, you have Boykin, and you have Moore. It's just the depth hasn't been the best. Signetti was saying on Monday how they were covering, like when they ran Tampa 2, the safety would be on the wrong side. They would be not covering the 2. So there just still seems like there's still some mistakes they need to figure out, but they seem to be doing a good job still.
They definitely have. And speaking of doing a good job, I'd say doing a great job. Let's talk now about women's volleyball.
Yes.
This IU women's volleyball team is the real deal. They have looked unbeatable here to start this season.
I mean, they're 10-1. Their only loss to Western Kentucky, who is not in the top 25, but they are receiving votes. Indiana's still not in the top 25. They'll be there soon. They're like 4th. They're receiving 22 votes. And then they beat Miami at the beginning of the season. They're number 24. So I think they deserve to be in there. But yeah, there's been some excellent players. I mean, Jaden Yeager, she's been great. She's been the outside hitter. She's a freshman. She had 17 kills last night's match, which was the highest in the match for the team.
Yeah, just an outstanding athlete, absolute unit. And anytime you can get that type of production out of a freshman in Big Ten play, that is exactly what you want to see from your team moving forward. And we have seen that from this team. They are gelling together. We've got a ton of great players on this team. We look at people like Avery Tatum, senior opposite hitter, who's also just lit up the floor time and time again. Here, I mean, we talk about the 17 kills that Yeager had. Tatum had 14.
Yeah, she was a big part in the game. I mean, some people were saying that, so they went down in the second set. Some people were saying because she changed her hairstyle from like a braid to a bun, they're saying the bun was 2-0. So, I mean, maybe that will be her go-to hairstyle. Maybe
that's the signature. Yeah, it's like we talk about the rally caps in baseball. Is this the rally bun, you think?
definitely. I mean, she's looked great. She's been a great leader. She got everyone, like, after that loss in the second set, she got everyone back together saying, we got to play Indiana volleyball. And they did just that, and they won the next 2 sets. It was great.
Yeah, and Indiana volleyball has been winning volleyball here this season. I mean, it's going to be a daunting schedule. I mean, we know what the Big Ten is capable of in volleyball. You talk about Nebraska, you talk about Wisconsin, but this team really lives up to that IU mentality of never being daunted. I mean, they have looked great even when they have gotten down, which has not been very much. Most of these games have been straight set sweeps. When they have gotten down, they have not faltered, and they have been able to pull themselves together, which is great to see, especially when you have rookies on this team.
Yeah, I mean, the Western Kentucky game was just a little weird. They went 0-3 in that, but that's their only loss. And Western Kentucky is good. They're underrated, I think. But I mean, when you look at like some of the other players on the Indiana volleyball team, like it's not always about the offense, but just like how to get it going. So like Teodora Krikovic, I don't know if I'm saying her name right.
I think it's
Krikovic. Okay. She has been an amazing setter. She had 47 assists last night. I mean, she is 7th in assists in the country right now. She's averaging 11.03 per game. She's been absolutely excellent. She's a freshman too.
Yeah, I mean, we got some great freshmen on this team, and they're playing selfless volleyball. That's what you love to see. With Teodora, I mean, it's really been selfless. You see that with the 11.03 assists per game. But just, I feel like I can't harp on it enough that we have these talented young freshmen, and when you can combine that with these veteran leaders like Tatum, that makes for a winning combination, especially in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they had 6 freshmen starting the first conference game ever last night. So that was great. I mean, also Candela Alonso Corceles, she's a great senior outside hitter. I mean, last night she had a double-double. She had 13 kills and 12 digs. I mean, she's been on and off, like she's been going crazy.
She really has. I mean, it feels like every single player on this team is someone to highlight because they're just so deep with talent and really have sort of surprised a lot of people with this start they've gotten off to and are looking to keep this momentum going forward. So as we preview this weekend coming up, another big game for these Hoosiers.
Yeah, they're playing Washington at home. It's at 7 p.m. Saturday on Big Ten Plus, or you could go to Bloomington and see it. It should be a good game, second conference game. Should be a good matchup. I'm pretty sure Washington's, I think they're pretty high in the rankings in the Big Ten right now. But yeah, I mean, Indiana is like at the top right now. I think they're like the top 3.
Yeah,
it's been great.
They have really come on to start this game start this season rather. Excuse me. But really a big matchup, a big conference matchup coming up as we take a look at the Big Ten standings.
And I might have been wrong about Washington. Washington's a little bit. I mean, it's still a conference game. It's going to be hard fought, but they're a little bit lower in the Big Ten. Well, Indiana is top.
Tied with Nebraska. We talk about Big Ten play just starting to get underway. This will be Washington's Big Ten opener, I believe. Part of the reason why they're lower in those standings. But we talk about it. Anytime you can be tied with Nebraska for volleyball, I mean, we know what Nebraska is to women's volleyball. They talk about what happened where they sold out Memorial Stadium to play in that match. That was so great to see, and really would love to see that culture built up here in Indiana. And I think that there is a market for it, and I think that this team has done just that.
Yeah, I mean, volleyball, it's exciting. It's a lot more exciting than I thought it would be before I started covering it. I mean, it's just like, it's high energy, high action all the time. It's really fun. There needs to be more fans, I feel like, of it. It's not just a sport for women. Men can enjoy it too. There's men's volleyball leagues too. So just there needs to be bigger fan base, I feel like, and then we need to build that. We're building football up in Bloomington. We got to build volleyball too, and then we also got some other big sports like women's soccer or women's field hockey.
We do. We have a lot of big sports, a lot of great matchups coming here, a lot of great opportunities coming up this weekend. One of those being for that field hockey team. Yeah. You mentioned that volleyball won over Northwestern. Women's field hockey has a chance to do the same thing, and that would be huge.
Yeah.
Northwestern is a powerhouse of a field hockey team. They are number 1 in the country right now. IU is at 500 on their field hockey season so far, 4-4 on the season, but they've lost the past 2 games. So really looking for a bounce back win, but this would be a statement victory for this team.
Yeah, it would be a big victory if you could take out Northwestern. Is it today?
On the road. That is the key to this too, is Northwestern's so good when they play at home.
Oh, yeah.
They have that advantage with that stadium. You know, we've seen it before in the football. It's the converted football stadium as well, is that stadium on the lake. They are so good when they play at home, and they have such a home field advantage here. And for this Indiana women's field hockey team who's looking to get right after 2 losses, this is a great opportunity they have to get a statement victory here and a great opportunity to set the tone, set the ship right, and get back on track.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't mean to go back to volleyball, but when you're talking about Northwestern being difficult place, Indiana just won its first road game at Northwestern in 9 years. Like that, it's a tough place to play. It just shows how good the volleyball team is, and then let's see how good the field hockey team can be.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of momentum around all of Indiana's sports right now. I mean, I feel like we haven't even really covered that the monument that was that victory. Why don't we talk about that right now with the volleyball team winning that game on the road against Northwestern?
Huge victory. First time in 9 years that they beat Northwestern at home. First time since 2007 that they won a road conference opener. That was against Iowa. It's pretty crazy. I mean, they've just been so dominant. They've been dominating the field. They just are relentless. It was a very offensive heavy matchup. Not too much defense. Like there was Ella Borsema. She had 4 blocks. She's usually the leading blocker, and then she's a sophomore. And then freshman Victoria Gray has also been pretty good, but there wasn't much defense except the digs. There was a lot of digs.
Yeah, we talked about Candelo Alonso Cortez, 12 digs in that game. That was key for that team. A lot of hustle plays on those digs as well, and that is exactly what you need to see.
They're great at keeping the ball alive. And then Krichovic, she had 10 digs herself, and then they just kept going at it. They were aggressive. They showed grit, and it was just amazing and beautiful to watch.
It really is. And we talk about those difficult upcoming matchups to get that win on the road in a difficult environment is exactly the kind of confidence building thing you need going into these. It's so hard to play in the Big Ten in volleyball. Big Ten volleyball is, I'd say, outside of what is no longer, which was the Pac-12 volleyball, were the 2 top leagues. Yeah. And so now it's the Big Ten, and there are so many good teams in this league, and there are so many good teams that play well at home. So to be able to steal one away from Northwestern at home, get that first win in 9 years on the road, that is that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I think I'm looking forward to this Washington game this Saturday. I mean, I'm going to be covering the Iowa game, but I'm hoping if it ends at a right time, I could watch it because it's going to be at 7 p.m. So should be a good matchup against Washington.
Yeah, it definitely should. And moving now to another team that's had a hot start, it feels like that's all we've been saying because it's really how IU sports have looked this year.
Yeah.
the men's soccer team.
Oh, yeah. They've looked great.
They've looked phenomenal coming into the season as the preseason favorites and really, have lived up to that name. We're unbeaten for a large portion of the season, only have 2 losses on the season, both coming to Michigan schools. First, you got that 3-2 heartbreaking loss where they had the chance to win with the penalty, just weren't able to convert.
Yeah.
And then you've got the 0-1 loss to Michigan State, which again, sort of a weird, chippy game that they just weren't able to find a great rhythm in. But outside of those 2 games, they have looked phenomenal this season. And I want to really point out that Notre Dame win, which was such a big thing because this is another young team.
Yeah. I mean, what's it called? That was great win. I think they're Indiana's 3rd in the country right now in men's soccer. Yeah, it's just it seems like every IU sport you look at, volleyball is close, but they'll hopefully be ranked soon. And then there's soccer and then football. It seems like Indiana sports is on the up and up.
Yeah, Indiana soccer was in that top-ranked spot heading into that Michigan game. Unfortunately, only had that top-ranked spot for the week because they fell to Michigan in that game. Again, just a weird game. They've been comeback kids all season long, had the opportunity in that game to tie it up. Palmer Alt, their great forward, who's been just lights out this season, had a chance. Only penalty he's missed this season was the one which would have tied up that game. So tough break for this Indiana Hoosiers soccer team, but they have continued to play well. They've continued to bounce back, and they're going to be going up against UCLA on Friday here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. That's another great game to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. It's a Big Ten game. You could always be excited. UCLA hasn't been in the Big Ten for long, so I don't think there's as heated of a rivalry compared to some other teams, but they're doing all right this year in soccer. Hopefully our men's team can come away with the win. What do you think about some of our top soccer players?
Absolutely. I mean, going into this game, like you mentioned, UCLA is 2-3-2 on the season. They were picked to make the tournament in the preseason, were picked to finish well in the Big Ten heading into that preseason. It's another young team, sort of like our Indiana team is very young. It got a lot of new faces on this Indiana team, and it's all about how they mesh together. And for UCLA, they haven't been able to fully mesh together yet, but they are always dangerous. I mean, they are a team that has been a powerhouse of soccer for a while. They made the tournament last year. They went on a little bit of a run last year. Just being able to get a victory over a team like that that's what great teams are supposed to do, right? I mean, we talk about it. It's great teams go out there and finish games that they're supposed to win and do so in a convincing fashion. And that's what we're looking to see, especially out of this attack for this Indiana team. I mean, you look at Palmer Alt and Collins Aduro, 2 of their great forwards, this powerful attack for this Indiana team, which is interesting because Coach Yeagley usually uses a defensive scheme. Yeah. It's usually way more defensive heavy, and it still is to an extent. But when you have guys like Alt and Oduro that are so talented, they're going to find ways to make plays no matter what the scheme is.
I mean, when you're talking about UCLA, they might not be doing as well as expected in soccer, but I think that seems to be a trend in their athletics right now. When you look at UCLA football, I mean, I think they're probably better than the record shows, but so it's going to be not an easy win. Indiana soccer is going to say, we'll have to go out there, play as hard as they can, and earn the win. But it should be a good game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I will mention UCLA is on a 2-game winning streak. So they're starting. We talk about that with those new players. Really, it takes a little bit of time for them to all gel and get used to the college game. It seems like they're starting to get used to that college game now on that 2-game win streak. But their big Achilles heel has been the road. And they will be on the road in what I'd argue one of the toughest environments to play in the country. Bill Armstrong Stadium, that student section, it does not translate on TV. If you have ever been to the game, or if you've ever watched the game on TV, you are doing yourself a disservice because that student section is rocking. They intentionally muted on the broadcast so that you can hear the broadcasters because it is loud, it is raucous, it is such an advantage for these Hoosiers, and to be able to play this game at home is going to be great.
Yeah, it's been absolutely electric. I mean, men's soccer's, I feel like, grown tremendously in the past few years. I mean, I remember when I first came to Indiana, that was my first game I went to as a student. I went to a men's soccer game. I can't remember the opponent, but they're good. I mean,
and they historically have been. I mean, 5 national championships in the past however many decades. It has been a historic program that is looking to add a 6-star to that jersey.
I mean, it's just, I'm excited to see. Last year they had a heartbreaking loss in the playoffs. Yeah, that sucked, but I could see them doing it, running it back this year and actually winning it again, getting the 6th trophy.
Yeah, I mean, that is obviously the goal. That's the goal of every team, but especially for a team like this who's had so many close calls, so many heartbreaking losses in finals and in the playoffs there, that just getting over that hump and getting to the promised land, that is what they are looking for. And they have a really good shot to do it here. And we talked about it, 2 losses on the season, and both of those losses, they had opportunities to win those games. It was just a matter of capitalizing on them, and they ultimately weren't able to do it. But this team is dangerous. This team is playing great. We talked about wondering how those new faces in the roster would affect this team. It doesn't seem like it's affected at all, except to help it. I mean, they have looked great to start this season.
Yeah, it's been absolutely excellent. I mean, there's all these. It's just, it matters on the people you bring in, because sometimes people don't work well together. And then Indiana Soccer, they brought in some guys and they seem to be working amazingly together. It's just, they have chemistry, they have leadership, and they can get it done.
Yeah, and I think a big point to talk about is the defense, and specifically the goalkeeping for Indiana has been really one of the keys to this team. I mean, we talked about the attack, but this is a defensive heavy scheme, and that goalkeeping play for the Hoosiers has been so good to start this season. Lots of clean sheets throughout these first couple games, and anytime you can do that against an opponent, it's great to see. But especially when you have as a powerful of an attack as this Hoosiers team does, that helps you so much, because now the other team's starting to get into that deficit. Okay, it's a 1-0 deficit. It's 2-0 now. That hill starts to get harder and harder to climb. And when you have such a powerful goalkeeping core like this Indiana team does, it's a tough task to ask for any team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see the best from them this year. I hope they continue to do well. I hope there's not any injuries that will.
Oh, don't say it. Yeah. We'll knock on whatever fake wood we can find.
I just hope they continue on their amazing streak.
Yeah, and then I think last thing we have to talk about, last big thing to talk about, which we've talked a lot about on this channel, is the football team going up against Iowa. On Saturday.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm driving up to that game. I'm excited. I've never been to Iowa. I'm excited to see Kinnick Stadium. It's going to be loud. I'm confident in the Hoosiers. I'm also nervous because it's just like Iowa. I think they had 36 points per game at home since like last year. They've just been doing really well at home. They might not be the most explosive team on offense, but they have an amazing defense, and they're very disciplined. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I feel like anytime you go to Kinnick, it's going to be a weird game. That is what they thrive off of. Is sort of, I'd call it Iowaing up the game. I don't know. That's not a term, but, that's what they thrive off of. They want to make it a punting battle. They want to make it a field position battle where, they sell the shirts. I'm just here for the punter. That is their style of game. And you look at when they play at home, they're so difficult too. I'm nervous too. I'm glad this is not a night game because Kinnick Stadium at night, weird things happen. You'll get a 12-9 score and you'll go, how did that happen? But for some reason it happens when you play this Iowa team at home. And I think Coach Sig has done a great job messaging to his players. He caught a little bit of heat for it in the media, but he said, this is going to be the tougher test than that Illinois game that we just played. And they passed that Illinois game with flying colors. Yeah. This is the tougher test, I think. And this is a team that is extremely well coached, extremely good at communicating both on offense and defense, and extremely physical in the trenches.
I mean, you got to look at their return game too. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but
Moulton.
Yes, he has been excellent. He had that punt return for a touchdown, kick return for a touchdown against Rutgers too. He has 2 return touchdowns, and his longest for, I think, punt was 95, and then for kick it was 100 yards. He ran it across the whole field. If Indiana's going to win that game, they're going to need to stop him. They're going to need to make sure they wrap up on tackles. They don't let him get free, because if he does, then it could be out of hand real quick.
Absolutely, because he's such a weapon on special teams, but also used as that gadget guy in their sort of unique Iowa style offense. So they shut him down. It puts a lot of pressure on Gronowski, their quarterback, to try and make something happen either with his legs or with his arm. And, that is a lot to ask of a quarterback, especially an Iowa quarterback. And so I think at the end of the day, really what this is going to come down to is playing clean on all 3 phases of the game, but also playing to your identity, right? What does Indiana want to be? Indiana wants to be fast, physical, and relentless, right? Coach Sig says it all the time. That's how they're going to have to play here against Iowa to get this win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Iowa's defense, they will hit you in the mouth. They will stop us. I have confidence in Mendoza. I worry about more our defense. I'm wondering if, yes, our defense played tremendous last week, but will they notice something wrong with our secondary and like some patterns and attack that and then maybe be successful? Will they, because Indiana has not been the best against mobile quarterbacks. Will they run Gronowski a lot? Will we be able to stop that? There's a lot of questions still about Indiana, even after that big win against Illinois, but I still think they're a top 10 team in the college football right now.
Absolutely.
Even though they might not be ranked will be.
Not ranked it. I think certainly if they beat Iowa on the road, that gets them over that hump into that top 10, especially if it's convincing.
Yeah.
You mentioned mobile quarterbacks, definitely something to.
Well, it can't be too convincing.
Right. As we've learned, it can't be too convincing, because if it's a record-setting victory, then we haven't played anyone. But I think what you talked about with the mobile quarterbacks, I think Iowa's definitely going to key into that, especially with the read option. We saw the read option give Indiana fits against ODU. We saw it happen again against Kennesaw State. Altmaier's a mobile quarterback, which is something, and I think part of that was the O-line didn't give him enough time to really get to make those decisions. It's like they say, it's hard to play quarterback from your back, from the ground rather. But I mean, I think they've started to figure things out, especially rushing only 4 against Illinois. Yeah. I think they've started to figure out their scheme. And
I'd love to see more from Kamara, because he's doing great. He's getting in on pressures, but I think he's also getting double teamed, and then he'll drop back in coverage sometimes. But I want to see more out of him. I'm expecting a big game from him, because I mean, I think it could be hard though, because Iowa has they usually have some good offensive linemen and tight ends.
They do.
I mean, they're pretty much known for that, besides maybe their punting. But yeah, I am kind of nervous to see our group against them, but I have a lot of confidence in them. I think Kellen Wyatt has looked really good. Tyreek Tucker has been great. Mario Landino has also been great.
I think part of that is the fact that Kamara is getting double teamed. That's creating opportunities for other guys. You talked about it. comparing it to a 49ers defense, right? Where Nick Bosa is getting that double team, that opens up lanes for all other players along this line to get home, and get pressure on this quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think my favorite thing of this game is going to be seeing if our defense is going to be able to contain Gronowski, because I know he could throw. I'm not too threatened by his arm, but also it's going to be at Iowa. There could probably be some mistakes on defense, so there's a chance we let up some big plays. But I think it will be a good matchup. I mean, this is going to be a good weekend for football. We got Oregon and Penn State facing each other. Yeah.
Two teams that the Hoosiers will see later in the season.
USC versus Illinois. That game means a lot, actually, for Indiana, because if Illinois can do well against USC, then it shows that we're just that good. We're in a whole another level.
It changes the aspect completely. And, I mean, I think we got a great weekend of sports coming up this weekend. Also looking ahead to next week. Basketball season's right around the corner.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it to rise. I mean, I think Lamar Wilkerson, he looks great. I really like Connor Enright. His energy he brings to the game. Like when I went to that open practice, he was like the loudest person there. He was getting everyone hyped up. He's great at passing too. I think he's going to be a great player for Indiana.
And that's what you love to see. And, you know, we saw it with Coach Sig and the football team this past year. You know, Michigan saw it with their basketball team the year before. We're hoping to do that again. And that seems to be the recipe for success in collegiate athletics, given the new landscape, is these great coaches come into a program, know exactly the identity they want to build at this program, and go out and get transfers and get recruits that fit that identity and bring them with them. That is just such a recipe for success. So a lot of high hopes for this Indiana basketball team. And you'll get a chance to look at this basketball team starting next week. Hoosier Hysteria is next week. New look Hoosier Hysteria.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're splitting up the events. I don't know if I'm excited or not, because I enjoyed the Hoosier Hysteria, but sometimes it could feel a little long. So maybe splitting up the events will make it feel like a lot better, a lot faster paced, more entertaining. I mean, I'm excited to see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, first event's going to be on October 2nd. That's going to be the Hoosier Hoops Showcase, which is sort of unique. Not going to be at Assembly Hall, going to be on Kirkwood Avenue, going to be right by the Sample Gates is where they're going to be doing a basketball skills showcase competition with the 3-point competition. All that stuff we know and love from Hoosier Hysteria is going to be happening on Kirkwood this year. How do you feel about that?
I think it's going to be, that should be exciting, but also where are we going to be? Like I could see like on the sidewalks and stuff, but I feel like it's not going to be too much room for stuff like compared to Assembly Hall.
It definitely, it'll be interesting to see. I think upstairs is going to get a lot of business that time. That's going to be a great place to watch it. I think it's going to be the sidewalks, right? And then I assume they'll probably put in some bleachers like you see it at like street parades or things of that nature. But it's just so interesting to like really do such a unique thing. I mean, Hoosier Hysteria is already pretty unique to the sport of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in 49 other states, it's just basketball. This is Indiana. And really, this is such a cool way to engage with the community. It is to literally put this event directly in the center of the community, the center of the city, really. Kirkwood is that main thoroughfare. And
yeah, I think that's a good thing, because sometimes the stadium can be a little, especially for students, the stadium can be kind of far to travel to. And Kirkwood could be a lot more central. And it's just a great place for, I mean, there's always stuff going on Kirkwood. It should be exciting. I mean, I'm not surprised they will fit all the people, because if you saw what Lil 500 looked like this year, actually, it was packed out. It was packed out. So they're not going to have it like that, but I could see them fitting everyone in there pretty well. I'm excited to see what Indiana basketball does this year, because I think DeVries could be like Signetti was in 2024, where everyone's sleeping on Indiana like on the sport. They don't think we're going to do that well, and then I prove them wrong.
And then on the women's side, for women's basketball, I'm really excited to see what Terry Morin has brought in. We got 2 Miss Indiana basketball stars, Chloe Spreen from Bedford North Lawrence, and then Maya Mikulski from Hamilton Southeastern. 2 great players. I mean, Terry Morin always recruits at a high level, whether that be in the transfer portal, whether that be through traditional recruiting. And I'm really excited to see how this team does. Lose Yarden Garzon. That's going to be a big loss. How do they replace her? What do they do to sort of build this team up together and really get back to where Indiana women's basketball has been in the past couple of years?
I mean, we have the fans for it. I mean, we've proved it. We got to make sure the fans continue to come to the games, because as in football, Signetti says, just the presence of the fans, the crowd noise, that helps tremendously. So that will help us to win. I think it will give us more confidence to the team. I think we need to make sure we play sound, strong basketball. Try not to turn the ball over too much. I mean, and then I feel like if we can replicate previous successes, like what was 2023, we did. That was great. That was a great season. I hope to see something like that this year.
Yeah, definitely want to see some fundamental basketball being played, and that's what Indiana's known for, especially Terry Moore and coach teams, are their sound fundamentals and their defense. That is one of the things that she harps on. You know, she always says, if you're juiceless, you're useless. And, you know, really thinking about the game as a game of momentum. And like you said, having those fans involved, especially in a game like basketball that's so momentum focused, is going to be such a great thing for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do really well if I think we just need to bring the fans out. I don't know. I just think that will make us, if we have that, if our players have the confidence that they need, and then also continue to play sound basketball, I think we'll thrive. But it's just more the unsures, like, oh, will they be able to replicate 2023?
And and who knows?
Maybe.
But next week you'll get a view of them in that Hoosier Hysteria extended.
I'm always excited to see them because
I
feel like they in Hoosier Hysteria, the past few times I've gone, they've beat the men's teams in the
every time.
It's just like I'm excited to see them in Hoosier Hysteria. They're great.
They really are. And you mentioned Little Five, Nick.
Oh yeah.
That's another event that has just kicked off their fall series. So they got the rookie skills clinics going on now. So those rookie riders for all those different teams are just now starting to get used to that track, get used to being on the bike. And we're going to see what happens with those teams. A lot of controversy last season with the men's race, with SAE having that lead for a majority of the race. And then BKB goes in for the fake exchange, completely fakes out SAE, and just takes off to win the race. So there's going to be no love lost between those two teams heading into this Little Five season. Obviously, Little Five more so in the spring than the fall, but still some fall events to keep our eyes on. We'll definitely keep you updated on what rookies are looking good, what the time trials are looking like as well. Yeah,
I mean, you know more about Little Five than I do. You're covering them. You're covering a team, right?
I cover the race itself. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's great. I love Little Five. Just the whole week is just great. It's everyone at Bloomington coming together, drinking, and then going to the games. It's always fun. You can't go wrong with Little Five.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of, if we had a through line for episode 1, it would be come out, show your support, because Hoosier Athletics has been off to a record start this season across almost every sport here in the fall. And we need to reward them for that with our support. whether you can physically come to the games, whether that's watching the games, whether that's posting about the games. I mean, these teams are giving it their all, and the results have already started to show for all of these teams.
It's not even just Indiana University. I mean, look at just the whole state of Indiana. Look at the Colts right now.
Yeah.
And then the Pacers just made it to the finals. I mean, I think Indiana as a whole is on the up and up.
We definitely are. So that's going to wrap up episode 1 of Hoosier Headlines. We'd like to give special shout out to Heartwork Brewing. That's our sponsor and where we are currently.
Yeah.
So if you want to come see Hoosier Headlines record live, come on down to Heartwork Brewing on Thursdays around 6. We will be here recording the show for you all.
Yeah.
For Nick Gonzales, I've been Ben Gillard. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.